Hi.
We are a temporary resident who was stuck in India since last February 2020. We came here to get engaged, and because of the pandemic situation and the border closure, we were not able to go back. And we lost our home, car, all our essential items were there who were in Australia. We came here with just 3 weeks of clothes.
And
So
all our documents are there in Australia. Everything, like we literally came with just one bag with the aim of staying in India just for a couple of weeks. And I don't think just like us, so many 485 visa holders were not prepared for this long halt in their lives.
we just want the government, Australian government, just to listen to all the 485 people who are stuck in India, who are stuck anywhere in the world, just to extend or freeze our visas, not to open. Also expected given time frame for the temporary visa that we had, which was not given to us because of the pandemic situation. We just hope that we.
And just like us, all the 485 visa holders come to overseas or any other country for that matter just to gain that experience after studies, and that experience have been snatched from us, and we don't are we only suffering? Why are 485 visa holders are not taken into consideration? We really want the government to help us out, think about us, feel what we have been going through, and just one step to just freeze or hold the visas can change so many lives, can give that peace in our minds and everything. It can just literally change so many people's lives, because as the day passes we are losing hope. We are just breaking from inside, that with the uncertainty that is happening. So please,
We kindly request the Australian government to freeze or extend 485 visa all over the world, not just India, not just us. So we hope to get good news soon and to get back our lives, which we had in Australia. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Riyad, and I'm one of the group admins and representatives of the skilled stranded migrants of regional Australia. And I would just like to emphasize that as skilled migrants who have been granted this visa, we are very aware and thankful to the Australian government to have been granted this privilege of moving to Australia and be able to contribute to the regional economy. I think most of us remember the joy we had the day we had this visa granted. A lot of us have been waiting for years to be able to accomplish this dream and be part of it. And one thing also that is important to mention is that we have basically ticked all the boxes. We have been invited by the Australian government to move to these specific areas based on our valuable skills acquired in our specific fields. We have nurses, we have people who are very experienced in the medical field who would like to help also the Australian hospitals, some of which are currently in need of medical staff. We have architects, we have engineers. So we're over 8,400 people who are currently on 489 and 491 visas. And these visas are, like many other visas, very limited in time. We have visas that last 4 years, others that last 5 years, and we are required within this time period to have lived and worked in our designated regional areas in order to be able to apply and become the next generation of permanent residents. So we are very grateful for this. However, like many of these groups present here, we are in a limbo situation, and this has caused a lot of frustration since border closure, because as you've seen from Naveed's video, a lot of people have quit their jobs, have even moved to their home countries to start packing and move to Australia only to find out they couldn't fly there. Some people were lucky enough to activate their visa to go there on the first time. They have started their lives, had jobs, even started their own businesses, only went to visit their families and suddenly got stuck offshore. Then we also have groups of people who haven't even had the chance to move to Australia yet and have already lost 18 months of their visa. So on top of the COVID situation, the mental pressure, the financial pressure as well, because we have members even in South Africa and other parts of the world who have sold their houses and all their belongings, their cars, to move to Australia and are just waiting with their kids, asking them, when can I start school? We're just asking to have clarity. And our ask is really to the Australian government to secure our path to PR once it is safe to do so for us to enter Australia. All we're asking is a fair go based on the nomination that we've received to move to Australia, to live there, and even more now to contribute to Australia's economic recovery in the regional areas. So our only ask is to either extend our visas by the time we lost, as this we believe is a fair go for everyone to fulfill their permanent residence requirements, or at least once we're allowed back to count the period lost offshore as permanent, as residents in Australia, because this was no fault of our own. All the efforts we have put so far with the media, with Home Affairs, was really to just seek clarity in order not to be in this limbo situation anymore. And we really look forward to move to Australia and help as soon as possible with the economic recovery, especially in the regional areas, because we see so many jobs listed and so many employers in different regions who are really looking for our skills, want to hire us. However, we are stuck here. So we urgently ask the government to please give us a fair go and grant us our chance to fulfill our PR and start our new lives in our regional areas and contribute with our valuable skills. Thank you very much.
I was doing my job, I was working here and quite well settled. But I resigned, left my job, sold my car, sold my household items, everything, and decided to move to Australia. It was February, March 2020, before the lockdown began. This COVID situation has brought a lot of mental depression, financial losses to me and my family. I'm more worried about my daughter who before moving to Australia, when I received my visa grant, I asked her to do the research and study about the Australian system and their locations in Adelaide, where you want to live and where you want to study. So she had already listed a lot of schools where she wants to study, and now she's asking me when is the time when she will be there to study. Waited for 9 months that the border will open and then we will travel. But when I saw that it's not happening, I had to admit my kids to school because they were suffering from a lot of pressure, depression for not going to school. After I admit them in the school, there was no job for me in Pakistan as well. So I'm kind of bit of in a limbo between Dubai, Pakistan and Australia. So I'm still hopeful. I'm still hoping that we might be able to reach in time and so that she can continue her studies. But without job, with young kids, school-going kids, is a great mental and physical and emotional and financial pressure which we are facing right now. And I hope that the government should allow us to come back all the stranded skilled migrants who can add great value to the economy of regional economies. I received a skilled migration visa of corporate services manager, which was required, which was in great demand at that time. Since then, the companies are hiring more health workers, and these health workers, all these organizations, they require a corporate service manager to manage. Every day I'm subscribed to all the job portals there, and I see there are still huge demand of corporate service manager, which can be fulfilled if the right manpower is there. I worked most of my life in a cosmopolitan city like Dubai, and I have a global experience of corporate services. I can add great value to the regional economy of South Australia.